Welcome friends. Today we will learn endocrinal function of the pancreas, basic introduction, insulin part 1, objective. We will start with the some history part, then physioanatomy of pancreas, synthesis, chemistry and secretion, insulin receptor activation, and last transport and metabolism. History. Insulin, word derived from the insula, that is Iceland. So islets of the Langerhans are just like Icelands. So they were given name insulin. Now before 1920, it was known that some chemical from the pancreas regulate blood glucose level, but whether it was endocrine or exocrine, it was not known. But because of the efforts of the Mr. Bunting and Best, who not only proved that it was endocrinal secretion but also got success for injecting this extract of the secretion into hyperglycemic dog, and they were able to show the effect of the insulin on blood glucose level. Though it took some time for purification of the insulin, initially bovine insulin was used to treat the patient of diabetes. Nowadays, it is made from the DNA recombinant technology, and Benting and Best, these two scientists, were awarded for the Nobel Prize in 1922, and millions of the patients who suffer from the diabetes were got benefit at that time, and today the numbers are more. So we are really thankful to these two scientists. Now something interesting that we should know about the insulin hormone. It is the first hormone which is isolated, purified and synthesized by the DNA recombinant technology. It is the first protein hormone which is estimated, means measured by the radioimmunoassay, and it is the first protein hormone or first protein which is produced by recombinant DNA technology. Physioanatomy of pancreas. Pancreas having two type of tissue. One is acini and second is the islets of Langerhans. Now this acini means exocrine part of the pancreas. So it secrete digestive juices into the second part of the duodenum via pancreatic duct. Islet cell are the endocrinal part of the pancreas, which releases the many hormones in the blood. Approximately there are 1 to 2 million islet cells present in the pancreas. We can divide pancreas in head, body and tail part. Now these islet cells are more at tail part rather head and body part. This beta cell takes 2% volume of the gland. Exocrine part takes 80% volume of the pancreas, duct, and other part, that is the blood vessels, which is responsible for the remaining 15 to 80% of the part. Now this isolate cell having alpha, beta, delta cell. This alpha cell at 20 to 25% and which release the glucagon hormone. Beta cell, major one, 60 to 70% releases the insulin, C-peptide and amylin hormone. Delta cell, very less, 8 to 10% releases the somatostatin, and the PP cell or F cell releases the pancreatic polypeptide. So these are the secretion of the pancreas, mainly insulin, glucagon, other are somatostatin and pancreatic polypeptide. Synthesis of insulin. So here we have a beta cell. So this is the beta cell. This is rough endoplasmic reticulum. Here it is a Golgi apparatus. So it begins with the translation of the insulin RNA, that is pre-proinsulin, having 109 amino acid in the ribosome, cleaved into proinsulin having 86 amino acid, having 3 chain peptide, that is A, B and C. Now further cleavage of this proinsulin is in the Golgi apparatus, which cleave this proinsulin into insulin, C-peptide. Some amount remain as it is, means 8 to 10% is the proinsulin. Now this insulin having 51 amino acid, having A and beta chain which are connected with the disulfide bond, C-peptide having a 33 amino acid. C means connecting peptide. Here all are packed in the secretory granule in equimolar amount. So both insulin, C-peptide are packed, but insulin is stored in secretory granule in zinc bound crystals. So both are packed in granules and secreted in equimolar amount. Now this proinsulin and C-peptide, they do not have insulin activity. Function of C-peptide, it bound to the membrane G protein couple receptor and activate mainly sodium potassium ATPase pump and endothelin nitric oxide NO synthetase. Importance of this C-peptide is it is useful in assessing endogenous insulin and help to differentiate from injected insulin. So this is in brief about the synthesis of insulin hormone. Chemistry part. Insulin is a small protein hormone having 51 amino acid. It has two chain A and B. A chain having 21 and B chain having a 30 amino acids which are interconnected with disulfide bond. Molecular weight 5808, half life 6 minutes. Chemical structure of insulin. You can see the proinsulin, which is in the endoplasmic reticulum, having 86 amino acid, having C chain, A chain, and B chain. Now from this endoplasmic reticulum, this proinsulin goes to Golgi tendon organ, and where the cleavage of this proinsulin occur, it cleave to C chain, or it is known as C peptide, having 33 amino acid, and A and B chain, and that is our insulin. So A chain having a 21 amino acid, B chain having a 30 amino acid, means total 51 amino acid. So you can call it as a small protein hormone or polypeptide hormone. So insulin A and B chain is connected by disulfide bond. There are, you can see, two disulfide bond, and this A chain is connected with disulfide bond. Single disulfide bond is within the A chain, and two disulfide bond connect the A and B chain of the insulin. Now some amount of proinsulin is also present in these secretory granules in the Golgi tendon organ, which is not shown here. Equimolar amount of this C peptide and insulin are formed and released in the blood, that we should know. Mechanism of insulin secretion. So you can see the beta cell of pancreas. Now glucose is the primary stimulus for insulin release from beta cell of pancreas. So glucose enter into the beta cell, it bind with the specific glucose transporter which are located on the cell membrane and get entry inside the beta cell. Here it get phosphorylated by glucokinase enzyme to form glucose 6 phosphate. It converted into pyruvate and glycolysis goes on. In mitochondria, as a result of glycolysis, there is generation of adenosine triphosphate, so increase in the ATP. Now you can see this channel. So this is ATP sensitive potassium channel. Normally potassium moves outside the beta cell, but when presence of ATP, increase in the ATP as a result of glycolysis, this ATP sensitive potassium channel get inhibited. As a result, there is increase in the concentration of potassium, which leads to depolarization of the cell membrane of the beta cell. And because of this depolarization, there is opening of voltage gated calcium channel. So voltage gated calcium channel get open, and there is increased influx of intracellular calcium. So we have a calcium ion inside the beta cell, which leads to fusion of insulin containing secretory granules with the cell membrane and release insulin into blood by exocytosis process. And this exocytosis is microtubules mediated. Now along with this insulin, equimolar amount of C peptide is also released, and some amount of say 5 to 7% proinsulin is also released in the blood. When we give oral glucose, it releases more insulin compared to when we give intravenous glucose, and this effect is known as incretin effect. So we try to understand the mechanism of this effect. When we give oral glucose, it enter into intestine. When it reach to the ileum, it stimulate the incretin hormone, that is GI hormone, mainly glucagon like peptide GLP-1, which is secreted by the L cell of the ileum and enter in the blood. It bind with the GLP-1 receptor, which are located on the beta cell of pancreas. So there is a activation of the receptor, and it stimulate or activate G protein. So it has a G protein stimulatory action. It activate adenyl cyclase, cyclic AMP, so second messenger system, and as a result there is a increase in the intracellular calcium in the beta cell of the pancreas, which help in increase secretion of insulin. As a result, when we give oral glucose via GLP-1, more insulin secretion, but when we give intravenous glucose, we are bypassing the gastrointestinal tract. So there is no question of stimulation of this incretin hormone, that is the GLP-1. So when we give oral glucose, it releases more insulin as compared to intravenous glucose, and the effect is known as incretin effect. Same way, when we give diet orally, which is rich in the amino acid, it releases the more insulin from the pancreas. Then we give injection of the amino acid. So this effect is mainly because of the release of the certain hormone, namely glucagon, gastrin, secretin, cholecystokinin. So these are the GI hormone which are responsible for the high insulin release when we give protein rich diet. Now, activation of target cell receptor. So here you can see this is the cell and this is the cell membrane. Now insulin receptor is basically example of the enzyme link receptor. Now it has two alpha subunit. So you can see this is the wall is the insulin receptor. It has two alpha subunit which are interconnected with the disulfide bond, two beta subunit which are connected with the alpha subunit by disulfide bond. Alpha subunit located outside the cell or cell membrane. Beta subunit is through the cell membrane, and inside this cell tyrosine kinase enzyme is attached with the beta subunit in the cytoplasm. Now when insulin bind with the alpha subunit outside the cell, it activates the receptor and autophosphorylate beta subunit and activate tyrosine kinase enzyme, which phosphorylate many intracellular enzymes including insulin receptor substrate, that is IRS 1, 2 and 3, to perform various physiological action. Transport and metabolism. On stimulation by the glucose, insulin is released by the exocytosis in the blood. It enters into the portal vein of the liver, where it is in unbound form. It exposed to the insulinase enzyme, that is insulin degrading enzyme, and 50% of the insulin is degraded in first pass metabolism of the liver. Now rest of them will enter into the peripheral circulation, and as I mentioned, remain unbound as insulin has poor binding with the plasma protein. Now this insulin bind with the target cell receptor, activate the receptor, do its function, and removed by the insulinase enzyme, that is insulin degrading enzyme, which is mainly located in the liver, also present in the kidney and muscle, within a 30 to 50 minutes. So you can say insulin has rapid turn on and rapid turn off action. So it was basic introduction of the insulin. Thank you. Jai Swaminarayan.